Hello everybody, Ed0626 here, bringing you some World of Tanks gameplay. Today, we are saying goodbye to by far one of the worst fucking tanks I've ever laid my hands on. Now this tank is called the A20. It is the tank after, it's one of the tanks you can buy after the BT7. I chose this tank because it was the tank before the T-34, and little did I know that this tank was not only nothing like the BT7, not only is it absolute garbage, it's fucking weak as hell, and it dies too quickly. There's no armor on it. The gun is weak as fuck. I think it's a I don't know if it's a medium or a light tank, but it's definitely a piece of shit. And I just fucking hated this tank. I got two gameplays of it here though, of games I actually did decent on, and they're the only two good gameplays I had with the tank, which explains why, I'm getting rid of them now, because I just don't want them on my fucking hard drive on my PS4 anymore. In all honesty though, I made a video a long time ago about why Russian tanks are some of the best tanks in this game, at least that I've used anyway. And I'm right. I know I'm right, first of all. But for the love of shit, the A20 is the fucking red-headed stepchild of the bunch. The gun is, first of all, the main gun it has to begin with is weak as fuck. There's nothing you can really do about it. Like, until I upgraded it to where it was almost full, or if not full, damage capacity, this tank I couldn't get kills with, or I just barely dented them or anything. This tank really is a pain in the balls to use. It's the one thing that this tank has above all other tanks that I've used, even the BT7, is its speed. The speed on this tank is fantastic. I mean, I'm able to literally, and I'm not even lying, I'm literally able to somehow literally sprint across the entire map, and so on. Now, as you can see, I'm actually laying damage into some of these guys. How I didn't kill that one dude is beyond me, but that's just whatever. That's just World of Tanks being World of Tanks. Honest question, for those of you who play World of Tanks on console, how in the bloody hell do you go invisible in this game? Because somehow there's a way for people to go invisible. I have not mastered it yet, so I could use any help. But, like I said though, in all honesty, this tank is one of the worst I've used. It's absolute shit. Now, the best part about this video is that I don't even have to use this tank anymore. I have finally gotten rid of it. I'm saying goodbye to this piece of garbage that is the A20. And finally getting my, my T-34, which was an absolute grind. Now I'm not lying to y'all. The grind from the A20 to the T-34 is probably one of the hardest grinds I've had to do in this game. It's one thing to grind for silver, but grinding for a tank when you know that the tank before it is a piece of garbage is a bit of a pain. Now check out this. I was kind of using that destroyed tank for cover over here. I was saying, no, not today, you can't get me. And I, knowing how long it takes for certain artillery pieces to shoot, it kind of worked to my advantage. I did miss the ram though with that guy, and that guy ended up getting the cleanup kill for me, which I'm not super happy about. Now, like I said, this tank did have its good qualities. It was fast, did a lot of things, but in everything that it excelled at, it failed to do double of what it was supposed to do. Like I said, the main gun's weak as shit, even after I upgraded it. So, as you can see, we're going into the next game here. Both these games, by the way, are victories, I believe. In this gameplay in particular, I was on the verge of shitting my pants, and I'll tell you why. The reason I was losing my shit in this game and practically going to crap my pants was because I was in the middle of this map. I believe it was the city part, and where the flag basically is. All of a sudden, somehow, some way, there's like 5 tanks on my ass. Or there's a not well, maybe not 5 tanks, but there's a bunch of tanks on my ass. I am literally, this is where the speed of the A20 came into play. I am literally sprinting across fucking buildings in order to not die. It was a bit of a challenge, I'm not going to lie. So once again, the speed of the A20 comes into play, and you'll see that later in the video. I don't know why a broken down tree stopped me in my tracks, but that's what happens when you play World of Tanks on console. Now, before I continue the shit on the A20, I want to actually ask you guys, do you have this game? And if you don't have this game, you should probably get it, because it actually is pretty fun. Unfortunately for some of you, I'm hoping I'm hoping if some of you guys have this game, you're like in the tier 4, tier 5 range, because I'm trying to grind all the way to, I'm on tier 5 now. I believe I just upgraded my M4 to like the best main gun I have with it, and I'm gonna have a video of it sometime. I recorded it last night when I'm recording this, and it was like, oh, I finally upgraded my Sherman to where I want it to be. So I was really happy about that. I'm also continuing to upgrade my I forgot the name of the heavy tank. The T1 heavy on the American side. You know, so any help from you guys would be very helpful. And like I said, if you guys want to play with me, you know, just let me know, and I'll put your PlayStation Network accounts down below, and I'll play with you guys on this game. Like I said, I've said this before, and I'll say it again. This is not the type of game that you want to play solo, as this fucking K1, or KV1, I should say, is fucking blocking my way from getting destroyed. Luckily, these guys are my meat shields, or in this case, my steel shields. So, as I said before, because the A20 is fucking weak. So, another thing is you have to use some of these tanks as meat shields. So, especially heavy tanks. Heavy tanks can take a lot of damage. Although lately I've been using the VK30, or I think it's the VK30.01 heavy. It's the tank one of the tanks you can get after the DW2, and unfortunately the gun on it is absolute shit. It's exactly like the DW2, where it's a short barrel and it has no range, and because it has no range, it has no damage and penetration. So I'm not too happy about it. I'm gonna have to upgrade it as soon as I possibly can. So yeah, as you can see, I'm staying in one place. This is probably the worst thing I could possibly do right now. I'm trying to take out this tank. I don't even know what tank it is, but I'm trying to take it out. I believe I do. I'm not entirely sure. But I'm trying to do some headhunting. I'm trying to snipe with a light tank. I don't know how well it's gonna work for me in the long run, but it's whatever. Let's see if I get this tank, and I get the tank. Get wrecked by the A20. And honestly, if you're a tier 4 tank, I think the most tier 4, tier 5, and you get taken out by an A20, I consider it to be embarrassing. I'm not gonna lie. I consider being killed by an A20 to be an embarrassment on your part, because you were incapable of trying to kill me. Which I'm like one of the easiest tier 4 tanks to take out. So, anyway, as you can see, this is the story of this tank. So, basically, there's this tank going across the back over here. He's trying to go around the side. I'm saying he disappears. I end up getting that hit on him there, as you see. And I'm like, okay, motherfucker, you're definitely not going to try and get away from me. So I literally sprint, or I drive, but it's practically a sprint across the entire map to find that motherfucker, because he's trying to hit our back, and he's trying to flank us, even though his team is practically destroyed to begin with. All they have is like a medium or heavy tank. I can't tell what that icon is from here. That light tank, I believe it was the light tank I was shooting at, and a destroyer which just got taken out, which are pretty easy to take out to regardless. Even hell, I bet an A20 can take out a destroyer if the destroyer is weak enough. But yeah, so I'm literally going. Actually, I think it was one thing I noticed, that this tank actually goes around. Speaking of the speed of it, it goes around 20? Oh, there's that motherfucker. But, yeah, it goes around, 40-something miles, I think is the top I've reached, maybe 50. As you see, this motherfucker's trying to escape. I hit him twice, or I hit him 3 times now. I'm just hammering this dude. He thinks he could escape. He's the last guy alive. Honestly, as I always say, if you're last, you're screwed. I'm trying to cut him off here, and I get the collision kill for the W. As you can see, that is the end of it. The 820 may have been good for these 2 games, but this tank is fucking garbage. Fuck the 820. And thank God I finally have the T-34 so I don't have to fucking touch this tank again. Hope you guys enjoyed this video. And I'll see you guys on the next one. Have a very great day.